Hi guys, welcome back. You know, this weekend I had a viewer named Bob and his girlfriend stop by, and he's kind of new to machining, and we were talking about the different ways of being classified a machinist, and told me that one fellow he knows says he's a machinist. So he has asked him what he ran, and he says a Haas machine. He was not a machinist, but a button pusher. But that's the way things go in this world. I'm trying to make a little shorter video tonight. We'll see if it happens. But I run into a problem with my jet horizontal bandsaw. I got one of the bigger ones, and it had a wire wheel that would brush against the teeth and clear off most of the chips before they went around and around and around. Well, over the years, it's gotten kind of short. It's not doing a very good job. So I got to looking around, and I found a company that showed the jet parts, and they sold them and says an OEME. So I ordered one. And when it got here, I don't know where it went, but basically it was a wire wheel that was a 1/2 inch wide instead of narrower, and it didn't have an arbor on it. So I've been sitting here for about 3 weeks trying to decide what to do. And this is a story about how you figure out things as you go along. Now, since I got sick, it's been 11 months since I made a payday. And so I've kind of don't think I'm going to ever be able to work professionally again. So this is what I got. And I don't want to spend a lot of extra money. So instead of just going and say, hey, that would work, and ordered something, I'm trying to use tools and stuff I have. Now I've got a lot of tools, but it always seems you don't have the thing you need. And this is just a little wire wheel. In fact, I got to digging around through some of my stuff, and it pretty much equaled this. The problem is it's got a hex-shaped shaft on it, and this one is round and goes through a holder, and there's no bearing on it. It just is open and it's loose so it doesn't get crap in it and stop. And then it has a collet, stop collet, that goes on the end. And that's all there is to it. But trying to figure out how the hell to hold this thing and make it round has been a problem. So I've been looking at stuff. I went and I said, you know, if I had some way to, there's no way to hold it here and be precise. I thought about drilling a hole in this and then running an arbor this way. I really don't want to do that because they peened this arbor shaft into it. Then I got to thinking, well, I could go get some way to hold this in the lathe, then get a bit that I could reach in there and round that part off almost to the end, and then go ahead and take it out and then use a grinder to finish off just a little touch-up, you know. I thought about every way I could. I thought, well, I could put it in a 3-jaw chuck, but by the time I got everything in place with the 3-jaw chuck, I had no room to move the tool so close to the jaws. So that wasn't going to work. Then I thought, well, let's just get rid of the vise for the chuck. So I went over to my big storage container of Hargen, and I found a hex shape. And I said, oh no. This is a 5/16. Wouldn't you know it, I need a 1/4 inch. So that's not going to work. I thought about putting some tape on it, but hell, if I did that, I might as well go free-handed on a grinder and try to get in there and get it round enough. And it's not a critical piece, you know. So I started thinking of other ways. I needed some way to extend this out from the chuck or collet far enough so I could get in here at an angle or at least straight to get this front part here. And then I would grind that part off, put a glove on, and hold this on a grinder. And at least this part where it runs in that holder would be round enough to make my mind at ease. A lot of what I do, I overthink the hell out of it. When I was younger, I would just have got this on the grinder and been gone. But as I got older, and I like the things to be as best as I can make them. That's all I can tell you. So now I've got this. I've got a tool that I could use to get in there and cut that off. And I needed to get it flat on here. It just goes so evenly because these things stick out on the side, right like that. And I want to get in there like this. And that'll get me up almost to that shoulder without any problem. Still got to hold it. Still got to be far enough away from the chuck. So I got to thinking, that's a 1/4 inch. Hey, these things are a 1/4 inch. Look at that. Now, I guess I could put this on the chuck that's on there, my 3-jaw, but it's still going to be too close for me to get the tool angled. Because on Bob, my tool's going to come in from this side. So it's got to be far enough away to be able to get in here. And this just ain't going to work. Plus, it's that way. So I got to looking through all my other stuff. Thought, yeah, that's pretty good. And then I found it. Eureka! This one. Pull that, stick that in and do it, and hell, it'll stick out a long ways. But if it's sticking out very far, and I ram that thing in there just a little bit too much, it can get it and bend it all to hell. So I started looking at this part. I went and I got another collet, a round one this time. Look at that. Now I can have it like right there or right here and not just be all flippy floppy out on the end. That's what I'm going to try. In a little while, I'm going to go over there on Bob and do this. I've been thinking about it for 3 weeks and I'm tired. Can't think about this and go on to something else. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. That's the way I've come up to make this happen with the tools I have. There it is. We're just hiding. Last operation I did was also another one of the, what do you do? How do you hold it? Frankly, holding something is 99% of the game here. We've got to take the chuck off so we can get to the... This is a lock up here for the spindle. Piece of wood on your bed so it doesn't get dinged up. Especially if you get like I am now, so weak that things like this are, oh, good God, they get heavy. now we're into the area of collet holders right here. We'll wipe that down real good. This is a collet we're going to be using. Clean it off some. See the slot? Inside that spindle, there's a protrusion that will fit in that spot. Just got to find it. There we go. And we'll tighten up on the, got it threaded onto the spindle closer. Now, I'll put that in. We'll take this one and, oh, I don't know. Let's see what'll happen. See if it's going to interfere. It won't. It'll be fine. Bought a mid-price set of index 3/8 shank carbide holders. Puts right on the center line of Bob's cutting ability. Now it's kind of putting at an angle. There we go. It's flat now. Would like to be able to do it at an angle, but it's going to be hard to do. Okay. Let's see what we got. Well, unfortunately, that's dangerous. So what I'm going to do is take this tool holder off. Sheesh. I just don't have the strength. There we go. Got longer ones if I needed it. In fact, I've got one longer than that. But I think we'll be okay with this. Now I've got it all cleared out. We don't have to worry about it doing anything. In fact, I could chuck that up right there. Closer you get to the spindle face, the better it is, because you don't have a lot of unsupported areas sticking out. All right, got it held in firm place. Those little dudes are going to probably shear off some of them when I get in there a little bit. So I'm going to put the shield down. I think you guys will be okay and can see it. I'll go over here first. It will probably be the best. Can y'all see? Okay, I haven't warmed Bob up today. on. Shields on. I got to get a new piece of this glass. Plastic. It's so thin, I think it's got to be Lexan. One of the stronger plexiglasses. All right. Hear things and I can see things very limited underneath there. Whoa, I didn't mean to hit you guys. Just, might have been better, huh? I see a little bit of cutting going on, but not a whole bunch, which is fine. You can see it compared to this inner. Let's go proceed on with caution. Progress. The magnet's holding all that dust in there. But now we're getting into the range of what I wanted to do. Move you guys over there so you can see farther down deep into it. I've almost got all the hex shapes off of there. Now I need to see what this one is. 0.231. Point 250. 3.1. I'm going to zero it there, and then make my mind a little easier to do math. Says I need to go 12 thousandths more. Not very much. I've tracked down, are y'all cattywampus? Fix y'all up a little straighter. I've tracked down some of my what I call my memory issues. This morning, I didn't take my morning set of medications, and my wife said I needed to do the tax. My son's taking over my business, I can't do the work, but I've been doing the bookkeeping part of it, what he's doing. And I've always had a hard time. Today I came out here and I was computing the sales tax for the state of Texas. Man, I flew through it. I could read a number and remember it. So then I took my medicine and turned me into a dumb idiot again. I don't know if I'll ever get off of that medicine is the problem. I'm listening for it. There we go. When I go to 140 on this dial, it should be taking off 12,000. 140. Something weird. Acts like I didn't do anything. Now this is loose in there. This is not just a regular magnetic holder. It also has a groove in there that holds the ball. You got to pull this black thing off. I figured if I tried it with one that was not like this, I'd just be asking for trouble. It's pretty well held into that. Okay. Well, that wasn't much. Making a nice little step there. That's 155 on that. It says I only took 2 thousandths off. I need more. Don't want to get in a hurry. Get too aggressive when you get in trouble. And back to 155. See what may be a problem. When I look down here, I can see I'm about a 1/16 of an inch off of center. Well, that was pretty good though. I'm going to get it up on center. And the way you do that is with shims. Now, I know I had some shims in here. There it is. There's the one I want. You end up with a bunch of different shims and stuff for different things. This one I use quite a bit. This shim's going to go underneath, rest right like that, and this will be on top of it. I don't know if I got them enough room yet. There we go. All right. I had a friend one time that he was like me into machinery, and he had some German-made tools and little stuff. And he sat there watching me parting off a piece of material, and he couldn't believe I was going so fast. I said, well, you got to have your machine set up right. You need the right kind of bit for your material and angled right, and you should be able to go as fast as I could. I think you probably overanalyzed it like I do. Okay. Doing that, I heard it going off where I'd been doing it right there. I'm gonna lock the carriage, but it did a little of the work for us on that side. So now it's these chips are holding on to it because this is a magnetic base in addition to the lock. That's right at 1.5 thousandths to where I want to be my target. That's close enough. So now we're going to scoot over. Right there is my target depth. Move one of these clips over here to where it is. 65.5. Okay. There we go. So that gives me that depth. needs to go in a little bit more. Pardon the noise of the air compressor. Yeah, it says I need to go in 16 thousandths more. But if that thing's wibbling, that's where we're not getting precise. If we were doing this on a regular lathe, I'd drill a little point and get something to stabilize that. That looks pretty good. It's within 1,000th. So, got to pull this down and then push against the magnet. It's the only reason this worked, because of this holder. Oh, it's on there tight. I gotta sit down, guys. I'll be back. Sorry about the noise, but that's the phase converter going. And while I have it going, I was going to see about getting this off. You'll see how good that was. Let me get that collar. Perfect. You see how though I was afraid it was going to look like that if I'd used the grinder on it. At least this part here is running in that space, the little holder, making it go round. I'll turn off my grinder that doesn't ever want to stop. It's got really good balanced wheels. Well, there's the saw it's going on. I don't know if you could see down in there. Underneath that blade is where it goes in the back. I got to change the blade on it anyway. I was cutting some of that hardened steel with it, and it cut through it. It just took a toll on that blade. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking off my glove. I didn't mean to give you vertigo. See, it just doesn't ever stop. Away and away and away it goes. Which one of you snuck in here and got my dang part? I thought I left you right there. Or right there, I bet. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call y'all names. Oh. Thing will run for 5 minutes. Well, that's where I'm going to end this video. I done dropped my other camera. It's got this case around it that protects it pretty good. I got two of these just alike so I can help with the editing. Shoot it both times with these, and then in post-production I can merge them all together and get which view I like. All right, that's about an end of this little project. You can see I chewed the shit out of it up here. But down here is round where the lathe got it. Nice and round. So I'm happy with that. This goes on and it attaches about right there. And around and around it goes. That's good. Thanks for watching. And oh, don't overthink things. I let things grind in my head until I got it all planned out. Then I end up never getting anything done. So, take it from me. Thank y'all.